Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. I wanted to break down a full mix breakdown from start to finish. A really dope artist I got to work with. His name is Bart3K. I'ma drop the link to the artist down below. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can get those pro, mainstream, smooth, really dope Jack Harlow type of vocals. So let's not waste no time. If you guys do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. So let's get going right now. Let's go.
See, I compliment the beats. I wouldn't mind if you was complimenting me. With that crazy physique, tight skirt, high heels does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose. Pull me even closer, she made me so nervous. No communication, I just grabbed her by her hand. Took her for a dance and I didn't have a plan. Do my two-step, then I took her for a spin. The way that body moving, I'd let her move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine, some tequila and a lime, tryna hit it from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in a track. Ass fat, how you move it like that. Thought that I could handle it, I'll be right back. I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be that Romeo that lives across the block. And if you've been in love, I guarantee that I could top it. My mind is on the profit and I just cannot stop it. But you're moving kinda crazy. Everything you do just doesn't fail to amaze me. It's crazy that this music ain't even been going mainstream. I'll put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me. Just say my name, B-A-R-T to the K, IP2, now I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes. Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine, some tequila and a lime, tryna hit it from woo.
Okay, so in true full mix breakdown fashion, I let you hear the whole song from start to finish. So let's get over it right away. So I had this really dope artist, shout out to my dog Bart3K. He came with a really dope song. As soon as I heard the beat, it's kind of reminding me of a Pharrell type of situation. This is like a Pharrell type of beat, like throwback. So I was like, okay, this is pretty dope. It's a different vibe. He really spitting about some shit, and I really think it's really dope. So that really kind of inspired me. The most important thing as an engineer when I start a mix, how do I approach it, is I think about how much space is inside of the beat, especially when you got a 2-track beat. You only got the instrumental, you don't have the stems. First thing as an engineer I pay attention to is how much space is inside of the beat. It's a situation where it's like you have an apartment complex, right? You walking into the apartment complex and you trying to figure out, like you just moved in. Where am I going to put the bedroom? Where am I going to put the sofa? Where am I going to put the flat screen? Where am I going to put the kitchen table, right? Every single 2-track beat has a finite amount of space, you feel me? So that kind of establishes like how much reverb and delay that you're going to be able to put in. So with the 2-track beat for him, I literally put nothing on the 2-track beat. I think with the 2-track beat, people say, oh, what type of sauce are you putting on the 2-track beat? Are you putting on ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard? Where's the sauce? Where's the sauce for the 2-track beat? Personally, I do not touch the 2-track beat. I would tell you, if you're an engineer, always try to have a conversation with the rapper about what is a real good beat. A good beat has, good instruments, right? Which are really crisp, nice samples, as well as a little bit of space for the rapper. So we put nothing on the 2-track beat. We just clipped it down like a few dBs to give us a little room so we're not going over 0. All right, first thing with the lead vocal, I'm gonna bypass all the plugins and we're gonna build the chain. So with somebody like him, he watched my actual Jack Harlow template videos. So, if you guys do ever want to get like a mix from me, any of my subscribers, I usually never like even mention this to y'all, but y'all could get a mix, y'all could hit me up. So the thing about it is I use the U87, and because I know Jack Harlow, or especially with Bart, like the way he's rapping and he's spitting bars, I want to enhance the nuances. So I use the U87 mic emulation, and pretty much it's a saturator. It's kind of modeling the frequency response of a microphone like the U87. So let's listen to it with and without.
For Z, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine.
So sometimes if you have like a cheap microphone, or you feel like you want a little bit more flavor out of your microphone, you can use a dope plugin like this on Terra's Auto-Tune mic modeling, because it will give you some of the characteristics of a certain microphone. Like the U87, I know it has a little bit of high mid presence, so that's why I picked that. After that, I used a little bit of EQ on my dog's vocal, and I was just rolling off a little bit lows. I want his vocal to be very powerful and very present. It sounds like the beat, the 2-track beat, is a 1-room studio apartment, so that means that it's a really small space type shit like that. You feel me? So that's why I want to preserve a lot of the low end inside of his lead vocal, because I want it to be big. I want it to make it feel like it's bigger than a 1-room studio apartment. I want it to have a little bit of size, you feel me? So his lead vocal is giving us the bass, is giving us that concrete slab of foundation. So I'm keeping a lot of the low end in his vocal, boosting just a little bit of top, and that's going into my de-esser. Let's look at that with and without.
For Z, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose. Pull me even closer.
A very subtle move of EQ. So in the beginning, I'm just kind of chopping the carrots, I'm chopping the spinach, I'm washing the tomatoes as I'm cooking up this dish, which is this dope rap vocal. It's a situation where I'm only making very small moves in the beginning. I'm not trying to be too heavy-handed. I'm not trying to cook everything all at once, just making a subtle move, chopping a little bit of vegetables, sprinkling a little bit of salt, a little bit of marinara to get the things going, to get everything, going. I'm just sauteing the pan so far, right? After that, using a de-esser. So a great trick I love to use is taking a high shelf EQ and boost it into a de-esser. And that's kind of like a situation where I'm working my high end to bring out a little bit of the impact of his words, you feel me? But not trying to rip off your ears, essentially.
For Z, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life.
So I'm using the UAD Precision de-esser, and I prefer to use these type of de-essers over like regular de-essers, because this is a mastering grade de-esser, which means it's made to like de-ess a whole mix. Like sometimes a mastering engineer gets a harsh mix and they literally have to put a de-esser on the whole mix. So this is the type of de-esser they usually use, and it's better because it preserves a lot of the fidelity in the vocal. So using that de-esser. After that, I have the C4. I'm using my favorite of all time pop vocal preset to scoop a little bit, taking that shovel and putting it right into the ground and scooping a little bit of that mid-range out of his voice. You feel me? In that mid-range, the fact that I took out a little bit of that pillowy cloud 9 atmospheric ozone, gray cloud type of frequency out of his voice, essentially what it's doing is it's helping making the vocal a lot brighter. And I like the pop vocal preset because with the high mid, the way it moves, it kind of actually has like a de-harshing characteristic too, where it's kind of working on that high 4, 5, 6, 7K.
For Z, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose. Pull me even closer, she made me so nervous. No communication, I just grabbed her by her hand.
And paying attention to also the beat as well. The beat has a nice little bounce, kind of like a nice little tango, a nice little left-right movement to it. So I also let my low-end compressor, like the low band, move and jiggle around a little bit more, so the flow of the rapper has to conform to the compressor. That's one thing that you got to understand. The release time is how do you want the rapper's flow to bounce back and forth. So because I hear the so because I'm hearing that in the beat as an engineer, that's giving me that cue that, okay, I need to make my vocal move around a little bit. If that beat is moving around a little bit, if it's doing the cha-cha, I want my vocal to do the tango with the 2-track beat. So using my understanding of that, using your understanding of that as an engineer, if you want to have a bouncy song, right, maybe you might want to let that compressor have a quicker release time so the vocal can bounce with the music. Or if you feel like the vocal is being like a lame at a party, posting up in the corner with that bottle, not trying to move, not trying to have fun, not trying to engage with the rest of the party, which is pretty much like the rest of the music, engage that faster release time. That will help the vocal bounce. Okay, after that, we have the SSL-G channel strip. And for this, mostly taking advantage of that VCA circuit. And that VCA circuit is helping bring a little bit of bite to his vocal. And of course, we just did a little bit of EQ, nothing crazy, rolling off a little bit of low end because I know the compressor is gonna, pretty much condense everything. And bring a little bit more of that body out of his voice. So I'm doing that counter move, rolling off just a little bit of low end and, kind of compensating, like reshaping the low end of his vocal, reshaping the bass, reshaping the concrete, reshaping the tiles on the floor in his one bedroom studio apartment of his vocal.
Physique, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose. Pull me even closer, she make me so nervous. No commu-
Alright, so you guys got an idea of that. After that, we have the RVOCs in here. I'm actually gonna start bringing in the background vocals because once I get my scratch mix kind of rolling, that's when I bring in the background vocals and everything. So I brought in the RVOCs at this point to give a little bit of that body, and that RVOCs kind of really just helps make a vocal up in front of your face, kind of like really. That's what the RVOCs does to a vocal. It brings the vocals up in front and in front of your face. It makes it a lot more abrupt, a lot more impactful, right? So using just a little bit of gate for the background noise. There wasn't really much background noise, but that's why my gate is so low, because there's no background noise like that. Just helping using it to make it tighter.
Physique, tight skirt, high heel, I could top it. My mind is on the profit and I just cannot stop it. But you're moving kinda crazy. Everything you do just doesn't fail to amaze me. It's crazy that this music ain't even been going mainstream. I'll put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me.
Okay, so you hear the separation. Using something like the RVOCs helps create a little bit of separation for the lead vocal up against those background vocals, right? So it's all about positioning. The compression has nothing to do with taming those you gotta tame those peaks. It has nothing to do with taming peaks, okay? It has everything to do with positioning, movement, like how I showed you with the C4 color and tone. Okay, after that, fresh air, bringing a little bit of that mainstream Jack Harlow greediness.
I could top it, my mind is on the profit and I just cannot stop it. But you're moving kinda crazy. Everything you do just doesn't fail to amaze me. It's crazy that this music ain't even been going mainstream. I'll put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me. Just say my name, B-A-R-T to the K, IP2, now I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug-in.
All right, very important thing to understand at this point. Listening to the 2-track beat early in the mix allowed me to know that I have to make my vocal very dry, because you hear that little doubler type of effect on that guitar. I want that to be heard, because essentially that's setting the borderline. That's setting the boundary for kind of like how wide I can make the inside of the living room for the vocal, right? So when you were a mixing engineer, before you even start to start mixing, you got to listen to the beat, because the beat is going to tell you how everything is laid out pretty much, you know what I mean? So I'm listening to the beat and I hear that little guitar. It sounds like it's very mono. Everything sounds like it's very really in the center channel. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm reeling the listener in by making this very dense dry vocal in the middle, and then my ad-libs and my background vocals is where I'm going to be bringing in the width, especially the ad-libs. You're going to hear like, wow, and that's what's going to tell people, okay, that's the roof, that's the ceiling, that's the, that's the stuff on top of everything, that's the solar panels on top of the house type shit, right? So after that, we use the de-esser, and the de-esser is just kind of like, because I used the fresh air at that point, I got to do a counter move. I made the vocal a little bit brighter with the fresh air. It gives the vocal a lift, It takes the vocal and it puts it on a little elevator, gives it a lift, lifts it up in the air a little bit like an angel or some shit. But using that Weiss de-esser to compensate for that.
I could top it, my mind is on the profit and I just cannot stop it. But you're moving kinda crazy. Everything you do just doesn't fail to amaze me. It's crazy that this music ain't even been going mainstream. I'll put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me. Just say my name, B-A-R-T to the K, IP2, now I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes.
Okay, of course you see on that Weiss de-esser, you see it says digital mastering de-esser. So I prefer to use mastering grade de-essers. They keep a lot of the fidelity. All right, real quick. So we had the Spectre, right? At this point in time, I was looking to get the vocals bright, but I understand that I don't want to get my brightness to be too digital, because this is a kind of like a warm type of analog sound. So I used the high-end boost on Spectre, and this is a saturation saturation plugin, right? With this saturation plugin, I picked the warm tape. So you have a bunch of different modes. You have solid state saturation, tube saturation, tape saturation. You have all these different types of saturation, but with the warm saturation, I find myself that it makes the top end a little bit brighter because it's boosting up the high end, but it does it in a very smooth, swag, musical way. And that's what I'm going with his vocal. Very smooth with a lot of swag. So this is a dope plugin, Spectre. And then I brought in like a little mid-range presence boost as well. Helps the vocals stay forward and stay solid. Not using EQ, but using saturation, because saturation adds a certain type of chef, you know, like the chef throws a little parsley. It brings a certain type of flavor to the vocal.
I could top it, my mind is on the profit, and I just cannot stop it. Let it move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a...
All right, so let's keep moving. After that, I brought in another tape plugin after that. So between these two tape plugins, I'm understanding that tape is something that makes a rapper's vocal smoother. You know, it kind of does a de-harshing the vocal. It kind of smooths at the high end. So I use these two tape plugins back to back to get that sound.
Let it move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign, trying to run it up with the realist.
All right, so after that, we had a vocal rider, nothing crazy, just kind of like making sure the vocal really stays in place. And, you know, I'm moving right now because I don't want this video to be crazy long. But after that, we used the soothe on his vocal and just really so light, bro. I love this preset, full range vocals. And yeah, I just used it very light.
Let it move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign, trying to run it up with the realist.
All right, so that's everything that we have with the lead vocal. So very dry lead vocal. That's what I want, because the beat is telling me I gotta make it dry. You know, if we listen back to the beat real quick, I don't know if it's gonna play through the stuff, but listen to the beat though. Listen to the effect on the beat. So the beat already has a little bit of reverb. That guitar already has a little bit of reverb, but that reverb is important for that guitar because that tells you how wide the guitar is. It's like a really short reverb. That's why you got to listen to the music as an engineer. You can't just start rolling off more than David Peach or doing that because that YouTuber said I got to do that and I have to listen because I don't. You can't be doing that. You got to let the music tell you what to do, because the music first quarter, you hear you hear that nice little synth pad. That's also kind of like something that has RMS. You know, it's a very long sustaining note. So because I don't want the vocal to be washed out and everything like that and become very soft, I'm not going to be putting buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of water and bottles of water on his vocal, because the beat is telling me you can't do that. I already got this long synth pad. Listen to that synth pad. It's already taking up a lot of energy. It's already taking up a lot of and also the guitar has just a short slap. I still want that to be heard because that's what's driving the song. That's the movement of the music. So the movement of the music is telling me, bro, you cannot put that much water right here, bro. This is already a beach. You cannot come over here with a gallon, bro. So yeah, that's kind of what we had. Okay, after that, let's run through the background vocals. Okay, so with the stabs, okay, he has some stabs right here, pretty dope. I ended up cutting out some of them that I didn't like, but for the most part, I kept most of them. So with the stabs, right here, we just used my little SSL preset I have, background vocals, and just really like just carving out the low end and the top end as well. Just making sure this is predominantly mid-range girth to give, you know, a lot of help to the lead vocal, especially in the hook.
Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign, trying to run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine, some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it.
All right, after that we had a you know, like a L1 Actually, we used which one did I use right here? I actually used the Faraday limiter, and I like this a lot because it has an internal sidechain filter. So I'm pretty much using a limiter to clamp down on his stabs to keep the stabs in place, so he can still we run it back. He can still be loud, but it's still gonna be contained in the song. So using something like the Faraday limiter keeps the stabs in place.
Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time. I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime. Tryna hit it from DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time. I can tell you're on your grind.
All right, after that, we have Toupe right here. This is like a saturation plugin. Just kind of using this to really add a little bit of a different character to the background vocals, to act pretty much kind of like frying them and making them a lot crispy. So, you know, pushing a little bit of the tape, pushing a little bit of that tube and driving it. And what this pretty much is doing, this is like parallel distortion on the stabs to give them a different texture up against that really clean, lean vocal.
DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time. I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime.
So you hear it has a nice little crunch, a nice little snack, crackle, and pop. You feel me? A nice little bit of chicken grease to those stabs. Okay, after that we have micro shift. I use my preset MixLikeNix, and pretty much this is just like a waves doubler. This is pretty much like just kind of like a doubling type of plugin, right? And it adds a little bit of smearedness to the background vocals because they're still like kind of like hugging. They're hugging the lead vocal, but I want them to spread them out a little bit because I don't want them to feel like they're exactly on top of them. All right, so I used a nice little doubler, a nice little peanut butter, and spread it across the bread. So pretty much that's what I'm using with the micro shift.
DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time. I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine.
Very dope plugin. This is modeling like an analog thing that Dr. Dre and Eminem. So you heard how Eminem be having them crazy double effects. They used to use like a Eventide H3000 and also like an AMS too. Okay, so after that, we just used a little bit of Pro EQ just to roll off some bottom and some top, especially after we did like all the little distortion and the smearing. Used the RVOX for a little bit of gating, nothing crazy. Then of course I used another Weiss de-esser because there were certain words that he did say a lot of S's. I usually don't use a de-esser on background vocals because I'm already rolling off top end anyways, but just listening to the actual words of the rapper is pretty important to let you know if you got to use something like that.
DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time. I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Tryna run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime. Tryna hit it from DJ, can you...
All right, so after that, let's look at our ad-libs real quick. And with the ad-libs, this is the time when we started to throw that bucket of water on the head. This is the time when we started to let things get wet, okay, and splash around. So we used the L1 limiter, using another limiter, but different from the Faraday. So they got the same function, but they don't got the same flavor pretty much. They're both like fried chicken sandwiches, but one is like, you know, fried hard, like really, really hard and almost burnt. And the other one is lightly fried and golden. So yeah, they got the same type of thing, but not like two different flavors, right? After that, rolling off a little bit of low end, rolling off a little bit of top end, and bringing in like a radio effect for the ad-libs. And of course, I use like a little bit of chorus to make it wobble.
Yo. See, I compliment the beats. I wouldn't mind if you was complimenting me. With that crazy physique, tight skirt, high heels, does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose. Pull me even closer, she made me so nervous. No communication, I just grabbed her by her hand, took her for a dive.
So that's the thing about it. It's like a situation where you go camping or hiking. when you go camping, you go out in the wilderness, you go out in nature, you know you got to bring a certain amount of water, right? Once you bring your water, you don't just you don't just drink all that water as soon as you hop in that bed. No, you got to preserve it. So as a mixing engineer, I'm preserving how much water I'm using throughout the mix, how much reverb. My lead vocal is dry. I knew I was gonna make it dry because my ad libs are gonna have all the water. You feel me? My ad libs are gonna be the big splashes, and they're only gonna come around once in a while. Okay, so for the most part, the listener can hear that focus of that lead vocal in that mid channel with that guitar, really keeping the vocals really dry and intimate. But then once in a while, here's a bottle of water, here's a sip, here, take a sip. You know, that's what the ad-libs are doing, providing a little bit of that refreshment, a little bit of that hydration for the ears, you know, a little bit of wetness here and there, but not the whole time, okay? After that, we're using the lo-fi, and it's kind of just adding a little bit of rumble and, you know, artifacts to the music, digital artifacts though.
Yo. See, I compliment the beat. Wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Trying to run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in a track. Eyes flat, how you move it like that. Thought that I could handle it, I'll be right back. I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be that Romeo that lives across the block. And if you've been in love, I guarantee that I could top it. My mind is on the profit and I just cannot stop it.
So I'm using that Avid lo-fi essentially, kind of like when I was a kid in you know, elementary school, taking that gray crayon, taking that dark crayon to make something look a little bit more evil, to make it look a little bit more dirty, a little bit more nasty, a little bit more disgusting, a little bit more like, ew, what is that? You feel me? That's what I'm using the Avid lo-fi to essentially add color to these ad-libs. Okay, cool. Okay, so after that, we done hit the lead vocal, we done hit the stabs, we done hit the ad-libs. Okay, now let's go hit the automation. So it's funny, I see people be trying to do full mix breakdowns on YouTube and shit like that, and it's like, come on, bruh. If you paid somebody for a mix and they did not do all this work right here, you got robbed, my nigga. I'm sorry, you got robbed, because this is what mixing is about, all those fine little details, okay? So let's look at this. This is where the real money is made right here. Okay, automation game on point. First thing that we did with my automation is I was using my reverbs, bringing them in and out, like how I said, you know, I'm making the vocal dry. I'm giving them water here and there. I'm not drinking all the water in the beginning of the trip. I'm giving the listener a little bit of water right here with the hall reverb. So in the first couple of lines, you hear that wetness, you hear that wet reverb. So, you know, it's not completely bare bones.
See, I compliment the beats. I wouldn't mind if you was complimenting me. With that crazy physique, tight skirt, high heels does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you
see. Boom, boom, right there. You hear it, like as soon as that little line stops right there, I stop sending that hall reverb to the vocal type shit. You know, I stopped sending the vocal into the hall, so boom, now I gave him that dryness. I took a quick sip of water right here for the first lines, and we stopped. Okay, and the thing about it, while I had that hall working, right, I had the room reverb, which is my main reverb, like, cause the room reverb, right? This is like a Valhalla reverb. So usually when you want warm vocals, you want something intimate in your face, you use a nice room reverb. You feel me? Just like I was saying, that one room studio apartment, you use a fucking room. Like you use a small, tight room to make you feel very intimate and close. And also, I wanted to sound intimate because he's talking about love. That's another cue in my head. Like he's talking about love, relationship. Okay, so I want to make the vocal feel intimate. That's why I made it so upfront and close and personal. Like it's a conversation with a female type shit. Okay, so look, room reverb, right? And as I got this room reverb going, this is my preset that I made myself. I got this, you know, type of idea to use room reverb from Seth Firkins, which is Future's engineer, and he used that tight room reverb on a song called Draco by Future. Look it up on the article. And you know, I seen that Seth Firkins used that, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna improve that. I'm not gonna use the same plugin that my favorite engineer used, because I'm trying to be better than my favorite engineer. And that's a mindset I feel like a lot of people get fucked up with on YouTube. They see like Jason Joshua using something, so they take it and they don't try to improve it. They just take the idea and they don't try to make it better. You feel me? So that's what you gotta do as an engineer. I see my favorite engineer use something, I say, okay, cool, you use that idea, I'm gonna do it better than you. I'm gonna figure out my own plugin. I'm gonna get my own songs. I'm gonna get my own swag. I'm gonna get my own drip. I'm gonna get my own style. You feel me? I'm gonna do my own thing. You feel me? I'm not gonna look at my favorite engineer and copy his settings and be like, okay, that's perfect, that's good. Like, no, I'm gonna figure out that Valhalla Room is gonna be special to me. And they pretty much drove this song. Okay, cool. So that room reverb is getting automated down. So as we have this big bucket of water, which is the hall, right? The hall reverb, right, is loud for these lines. I started like playing with the volume of this room reverb, and I started bringing it down, decreasing it, bringing it down. So the vocal's starting to get drier and drier, and it's the perfect little transition into where boom, it actually does become dry.
See, I compliment the beats. I wouldn't mind if you was complimenting me. With that crazy physique, tight skirt, high heels does it for me. You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. She said I could tell that you do this on purpose.
So it's kind of like a situation where boom, that reverb changes, then boom, the instruments change too. So now the whole scene is changing. We just came from a nice little river to boom, a slightly dry desert type shit like that. Like, because the vocals is really, really dry, and the only reverb we mostly getting from is our ad-libs type shit. Okay. So after that, you know, when it came to the automation, I used this Valhalla reverb throw to do a boomerang effect on his vocal, woo, 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 type shit like that. So he says something twice, right? And pretty much it's kind of like the vocal is like a boomerang. I'm throwing it and it's spinning, and it's coming back. So let's look at right here. You know, I just did like a delay throw. And then after that, the feedback, I started playing around with the feedback. I automated that and it started looping.
You know what to do, how to move, and I love it. Come a little closer, I'll make you feel something. Tell me something about your life. I'm trying to get involved, trying to make you mine. Some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in a track. Eyes fat, how you move it like that. Down your spine, some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it from woo.
Automating that feedback loop is the perfect thing for him because he had certain words I liked a lot. Woo! Rather than to do like a regular delay throw, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to push it. So I know this is a throwback type of song, so I used the tape mode pretty much, right? I used the tape mode because that's kind of like a nice little lo-fi-ish type of reverb, and then delay. And then I used a nice little center, and that kind of takes it out of the mono channel, so it's looping as he's rapping, and I don't want it to overlap, so I cut out a little bit of the mid channel and boosted the sides type shit like that. So yo, if you pay somebody for a mix and master and they're not doing these things, now every song is not gonna have this situation to do this stuff, but if you pay somebody for a mix and master and you're not getting this, my nigga, you got robbed. I'm telling you, bro, you got fucking robbed, because this is what a mix and master is. The fine details, the little stuff that makes it just feel finished, that makes it have a little bit of movement, that makes it feel like more than a song, that makes it feel like an experience type shit, bro. So after that, we had some reverb throws, and yeah, just some reverb throws, big splashes of water, big buckets of water, you know, big gallons, you know, big liters of water on their head, like the ALCS challenge. Remember when they used to do that back in the day? ALCS challenge, dump a cold bucket of water on their head. I remember I did that shit as a kid. But look, main thing about it, we're using a different reverb for our reverb throw, right? Using Valhalla Supermassive. The preset is Massive Vocal. This is a nice big ethereal, you know, reverb. And I threw it for certain lines, you know, certain lines that, you know, got a little reverb throw, a little bit more wet than others.
So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. They're from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in new shoes. Baby, run it back, I ain't finished.
Yeah, so the most important thing, let me turn this off real fast, actually, because what I did is I did like a reverb throw, so like it's a really big reverb, but then I started automating the a filter on it, and it's pretty dope because what it's doing is like it's creating a transition, right? So there is no like transitions in the beat, so I made my own transition using a big reverb throw towards the end of the verses, and pretty much what I'm doing is I'm cutting off the top end of the reverb.
So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished.
That's what it sounds like without the filter. That's what it sounds like without the filter. This long ass reverb. You feel me? This long ass reverb, this big, ambience type shit. But when I put the filter on it, it creates like a nice little transition. So I'm doing like a cutoff filter, which is I'm rolling off the top end and I'm boosting it with a little resonance. So I'm gonna show you what it's doing right here. Then I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the Fab filter.
So come over when you like, Mr. DJ. Can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't So come over when you like, Mr. DJ. Can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished.
So it's like a boom, like I'm taking the hood on a Corvette and I'm pulling it back in type shit. Okay, now we in the hook. You feel me? Now we in the hook. You feel me? We was riding with the top off when it was the verses. Now we going into the hook. And now the back of the Corvette is coming in like a convertible whip type shit. Okay. So yeah, that's very important because it does a scene change. It gives a nice little transition. It tells the listener, okay, the verse is over. Pretty much as an engineer, you the tour guy, you told the listener, okay, the verse is over. The verse is over. Now we going into the hook, man.
So come over when you like, Mr. DJ. Can you play that twice? Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes. Baby, run it.
You feel me? Pretty much, you feel me? Doing some crazy shit right there type shit. Most importantly too, coming back to my room reverb, bro, I had that room reverb starting to go up in volume, right? So here it was going down, but here it's going up in volume. It's building a little bit of momentum because he switched up his flow.
This music ain't even been going mainstream. I put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me. Just say my name, B-A-R-T to the K, IP2, now I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes. Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, no.
And then when you hear that little drop right there, as I was cutting up the beat and all that shit, and you hear that little drop, you hear that it sounds like the faucet. It sounds like I forgot to turn off the faucet. You feel me? Because the reverb is still leaking, So I changed the filter on the second delay throw. So, bruh, on the second reverb though, so bruh, if you pay somebody for a mix and master and you did not get this, you got robbed, bruh. I'm just trying to let y'all know this is what a real mix and master is for all my people who still watching the video. We breaking down everything today. Okay, cool. Look at this. Listen to how I left the faucet on. I forgot to turn off the faucet, pretty much type of sound, right? Because once that drop happens, you still hear from the reverb.
I'm really making moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes. Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. Moves. Got me calling up my plug and buying brand new shoes. Baby, run it back. I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute.
That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like when you forgot to turn off the faucet in the bathroom type shit like that. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much like all of our lanes of automation type shit that we had. So yeah, automation very important to make a mix move. That's how you make you feel like more than just a vocal over a 2-track beat. Make your reverb move a little bit, make your delay move. It takes a certain ear to know when to do all of this stuff though, because if you just try to force it, it's not gonna sound good. It might just sound weird if you just have a reverb jumping all over the place. But if you can acquire a musical ear, you feel me, over like mixing for a long time, you're gonna hear like, okay, I like these words. Let me just make that reverb push a little bit further just for the momentum, for that feeling, for that little bit of goosebumps moment for the artist. It makes it feel like a real story, a real love story type shit. So with this first ad-lib right here, I use Lossy, right? And it kind of glues this ad-lib to this ad-lib because I'm using 2 lo-fi plugins, but this is different. This is like a regular lo-fi plugin. And this is more like a MP3 type of, like when you convert a 2-track beat on YouTube, it sounds a little nasty. This is the type of lo-fi it's doing. So a different style of lo-fi. So gluing my ad-libs together, this is like one of the very first ad-libs, gluing it together, but also creating a little separation because it's 2 different types of lo-fi.
Yo, look, yo.
See, I come.
Yo, look, yo.
All right, another important thing that we got to go over before we get to the master fader is right here. I used the tremolator effect. He kind of switched up his flow. So as an engineer, I think it was very important for me to, also switch up, kind of like do like a little effect at that point. You feel me? Just to enhance his flow. So I used the tremolator, which kind of gives that song from Drake, Sticky. You know how Sticky is? You heard how the beat started being a little jagged. So that was a tremolator effect. And I used the tremolator effect right here, and it kind of gave a little bit of to his flow. It matched his flow.
Be right back, I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be right back, I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be that. Be right back, I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be right back, I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be right back, I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be that Romeo that lives.
You feel me? Now that gives a little bit of jagged variety. And of course, I used a little bit of an air flanger to just spread it out a little bit. Take a little bit of jelly, a little bit of peanut butter on that bread and just spread that vocal out a little bit. You feel me? You know, so he switched up his flow, and I'm making it very obvious to the listener. He switched up his flow in a very subtle way, because now the pattern is a little bit more jagged. There's a little bit of smearingness, but for me, it helped the vocal a lot, especially. Okay, so let's look at the mastering chain. I did have a Fat Filter Saturn, but I didn't even end up using that. We don't gotta look at that. I had a Puig Child, and I love using the Puig Child because it has tubes in it and transformers, so it's kind of like me going for mostly saturation, right? Using the Fairchild on my mix bus is kind of doing like a smiley face curve, but through saturation, because I know the transformers is helping that big booty 808 and kick, and I know the tubes is helping that pretty top up top. So look at that.
Feel it, send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in a track. Ass fat, how you move it like that. Thought that I could handle it, I'll be right back. I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love?
And I like using the Fairchild a lot too, especially on a song like this. The tempo is kind of relatively slow. So yeah, it's really good for it, because a lot of the times those older throwback compressors, those bus compressors, they might not be as responsive as other ones, so it's really good to maybe use like this type of compressor on a slower song, so it can actually handle the movement of the kick and the bass type shit. Okay, I use a Spectre on my master fader, and this is the jam right here. Especially this bend right here, it just adds so much weight and tone to the kick. The Spectre is a saturation plugin, multi-band saturation though. So a little lift on the top, a little bit of a, forward, and it's starting to bring the guitars forward, because once I started bringing in the vocals and the ad-libs, the guitars on the 2-track beat felt low. So I went on my master fader and I did this little boost right here, and it helped that main melody cut through. But man, the most important thing with this preset right here is this little knob right here. This makes the kick hit hard, dude.
Feel it, send a shiver down your spine. Some tequila and a lime, trying to hit it from woo. But for now, just relax. We can make some memories, I'll put you in a track. Ass fat, how you move it like that. Thought that I could handle it, I'll be right back. I'm starstruck. Have you ever been in love? I'm trying to be that Romeo that lives across the block. And if you've been in love, I guarantee that I could top it. My mind is on the profit, and I just cannot stop it. But you're moving kinda crazy. Everything you do just doesn't fail to amaze me. It's crazy that this music ain't even been going mainstream. I'll put my heart into these tracks and you don't have to pay me.
Ooh, Gem City. Yo, shout out to everybody who's still watching this video at this point. Very, very long video, but man, like, gems, bro. Like, these motherfuckers who really think that you could like show people how to mix music in like 5 minutes, in a 5-minute video, 10-minute video, a short, like, bro, that's fucking ridiculous, bro. To mix a song, it takes like an hour. It takes like an hour, maybe an hour and some change. But the fact that people really sit here and really think that you could show somebody how to mix like a whole mix in like 2 minutes and 3 minutes, and like my videos are kind of long, but I'm really interesting, so it's okay. But I'm like, bruh, the fact that people dead ass really think they could show somebody how to mix a song in 30 seconds, or look at this quick tip, 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 look at it. It's some bullshit, man. This mixing shit takes time, but it's very rewarding though. It's very rewarding, but it does take time. It takes a little time to learn. It takes a little bit of time to do it. It takes some time to listen to the music and get ideas off, and the fact that these people really make videos and think that they can show you like a whole mix in like 5 minutes is just like, bro, you don't know shit about mixing. Like, you just don't, you feel me? So that's why I made my YouTube channel to like destroy those people. Like I'm like really like honestly like in the beginning I didn't make my channel to help people. I'm not gonna lie. I just was like, damn, like these guys are so bad. I have to come on YouTube and show people this is what a real mix and master is. This is what a real mix breakdown is. Like if you pay somebody for a mix and master, this is what it's gotta be. It's gotta be love, bro. It's gotta be love. It's gotta be attention to detail. It's gotta be that little extra effort, bro, to make that song go, because you don't know what song gonna blow. You don't know what song gonna blow. But if you give your song to somebody who's like, yeah, bro, I get so when I can. Yeah, bro. And you never know. That could be the song to change your life. So that's why I want to inspire the next generation of engineers. Okay, cool. Shit, I forgot what I'm saying. Little mid-range dip right here on the mono channel. And also just a little bit of stereo spread.
No communication, I just grabbed her by a hand. Took her for a dance and I didn't have a plan. Do my two-step, then I took her for a spin. The way that body moving, I'd let her move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, no.
All right, yeah. So, you know, another important thing too about these niggas, man, like you gotta have an engineer who listens to your fucking lyrics, bro. Hit the two-step, hit the like you like you know you got a good engineer when you have somebody who gives a fuck about your lyrics. Like oftentimes as an engineer, what you can do to give a little confidence to the rapper is start saying their lyrics back to them and be like, yeah, I know your lyrics too. That makes people feel good about themselves. So as an engineer, pay attention to them lyrics. Like opportunity right here, two-step, bring it back. You feel me? That makes it more believable. It makes it more relatable because the beat is actually following what the rapper's saying. It feels like music, man.
Communication, I just grabbed her by a hand. Took her for a dance and I didn't have a plan. Do my two-step, then I took her for a spin. The way that body moving, I'd let her move.
Little shit like that, bro, is just what makes me like love music, bro. Okay, so after that, use the limiter number 6, and this is like a clipper. The clipper is adding more distortion, so this was really helping out my kick a lot. You know, that kick kind of felt weak at a certain point, so using the clipper on the master fader to generate more distortion type shit.
For a dance and I didn't have a plan. Do my two-step, then I took her for a spin. The way that body moving, I'd let her move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Trying to run it up with the realist. I know for a fact you gon' feel it. Send it.
Very important, that clipper started to make the whole kick feel like King Kong beating on his chest a little bit. Okay, so that clipper is generating a little bit of distortion, just 1 dB. That's what clippers do. They bring in distortion, okay? So using a OZONE 9, and at that point, just using a little bit of the exciter, a little bit of the maximizer, a little bit of the imager. You know, I'm kind of tired right now, so I'm just gonna bypass it in and out, and just more saturation, bro.
For a dance and I didn't have a plan. Do my two-step, then I took her for a spin. The way that body moving, I'd let her move it. So come over when you like, Mr. DJ, can you play that twice? Baby, run it back, I ain't finished. I just need a sec, not a minute. I ain't into wasting time, I can tell you're on your grind. Maybe I can be the sign. Trying to run it up with the realist. I know for a
Okay, that's the end of the video. That's what a full mix breakdown is from start to finish. We gave you the game and we showed you how to get those pro mainstream Jack Harlow vocals. We went over the lead vocal. We went over the background vocals. We went over the automation. We went over the reverb and the delay. We went over the master bus. We went over everything. So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Everybody who sat through the video and watched it, this is the real game right here. Just want to say I love y'all. Actions speak louder than words. I really want to help y'all, so I broke down this mix. And shout out to everybody who support me. Just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you appreciated this Jack Harlow masterclass. All right, appreciate y'all now, YouTube gang. Peace.